Hello fellow boomers, welcome back to our channel. Imagine waking up one morning to discover that half of the tasks you do at work can be done faster, cheaper, and maybe even better by AI. Scary thought, right? Well, here's the good news. And it's especially good news for people like us. The skills that matter most in this new world are not the ones AI is good at. They're the uniquely human skills that you've been building for 30, 40, even 50 years. That's right. While everyone's panicking about robots taking jobs, employers are quietly paying a premium for exactly what our generation has in abundance: judgment, communication, and the wisdom that only comes from decades of real-world experience. Now you might be thinking, why should I care? I'm retired. Or, I've only got a few years left before I hang up my hat. Here's why this video matters to you specifically, whatever stage you're at. If you're still working, these skills are what will keep you relevant, employed, and valued in your final career years. And they're your best negotiating card. If you're semi-retired or thinking about consulting, mentoring, or part-time work, these are exactly the skills companies will pay you for, because they can't get them from AI or from a 25-year-old. And if you're fully retired, these same skills, critical thinking, curiosity, judgment, are what will protect you from AI-powered scams, help you navigate a world changing faster than ever, and let you actually help your kids and grandkids make smarter career decisions. Nobody in your family understands career reinvention better than someone who's lived through 5 decades of it. So stay with me until the very end of this video, because that's where I'll share 2 things you won't want to miss. The one question that can future-proof any career or any retirement, and a simple 7-day plan to start strengthening these skills this week. No degree required, no tuition, and no, you don't need to become a programmer. If you find videos like this valuable, do me a quick favor. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It genuinely helps us reach more people from our generation who are navigating this new world of work. Alright, let's dive in. In this video, we'll break down the human skills employers are actively hiring for in the age of AI, why they now matter more than degrees and job titles, and how you can start strengthening them right now, whether you're still working full-time, consulting, mentoring, or thinking about your next chapter. We'll cover communication, storytelling, adaptability, curiosity, critical thinking, emotional intelligence, and decision-making, with concrete examples you can use in your own career. For decades, the career game was simple: collect degrees, build technical expertise, climb the ladder. Sound familiar? That was our playbook. But here's the twist. As AI gets better at automating routine work and crunching data, employers are shifting their focus away from what you know toward how you think and how you work with others. Workforce strategists describe it as a kind of inversion. Instead of only valuing deep expertise in one narrow field, companies now prioritize a mix of experience, a learning mindset, and leadership potential. Surveys of hundreds of global recruiters show that communication, problem-solving, and adaptability consistently rank at the top of the skills employers value today, often above specific technical tools. And here's what nobody tells you. This shift actually tilts the playing field back toward experienced workers. A 25-year-old can learn a software tool faster than you can. Maybe. But can they read a room? Can they calm an angry client? Can they tell when a brilliant plan is about to blow up because they watched the same movie in 1998 and again in 2008? That pattern recognition took you decades to build, and no chatbot can download it. Here's the key idea. AI is becoming the engine of work, but humans still provide the steering, judgment, and direction. Your edge isn't knowing this one tool. It's combining tools with human strengths that AI cannot replace. Across sectors, communication now sits at the #1 spot among in-demand skills globally. Even in highly technical roles like engineering, leaders at major tech companies say that the ability to communicate clearly up, down, and sideways across the organization has become critical. Why? Because AI can generate information, but it can't own the conversation. You still need humans to explain complex ideas in plain language, align teams, negotiate boundaries, and make sure everyone understands what the company is actually trying to accomplish. Example: think of a data analyst using AI to produce a detailed report. The AI can output charts and predictions in seconds, but someone has to sit with the leadership team, tell the story behind the data, highlight what really matters, and recommend a clear course of action in human terms. That someone gets paid for judgment, not typing. And let's be honest, our generation grew up communicating without emojis, without hiding behind text messages. We learned to talk to people face to face, on the phone, in meetings that mattered. That's not old-fashioned. In today's market, that's a superpower. If you want to future-proof your career, focus on communicating complex ideas simply. If you can explain it to your grandkids, you can explain it to a boardroom, tailoring your message to different audiences, peers, managers, clients, and yes, younger colleagues. Asking clarifying questions instead of assuming. The person who asks, "What problem are we actually solving?" is often the most valuable person in the room. Storytelling might sound like a nice-to-have, but many hiring leaders now describe it as one of the most important human skills in the age of AI. On your LinkedIn profile, in your resume, and especially in interviews, storytelling is how you prove you're more than a list of buzzwords. Recruiters want more than "I'm a team player." They want a short, concrete story, a moment when you led a project, solved a problem, or collaborated under pressure, linked directly to the role you're targeting. And who has more stories than we do? 40 years of projects, crises, turnarounds, difficult bosses, impossible deadlines. That's not baggage, that's inventory. The trick is learning to package it. Even after you get the job, storytelling stays critical. AI can serve up information. You have to apply it, frame it for a client, and show exactly where and how it will have impact. Example: an AI system suggests 3 possible strategies to reduce customer churn. You decide which strategy fits your company's reality, then build a narrative for leadership: the current problem, the proposed solution, the expected results, and the risks. That narrative is what gets real-world decisions made. Quick tip: take your 3 best career stories and practice telling each one in under 2 minutes. Situation: what you did, what changed. You'll use them in interviews, networking, and even casual conversations that turn into opportunities. As AI reshapes workflows and job descriptions, adaptability has surged into the top tier of skills employers value, often ranked right after communication and problem solving. Companies now prefer people who can flex across tasks, learn new tools quickly, and adjust to changing market conditions instead of insisting, "That's not my job." Now, I know what some of you are thinking: adaptability at my age. But think about everything you've already adapted to. You started your career with typewriters and rotary phones. You survived the fax machine, the PC revolution, email, the internet, smartphones, Zoom meetings during a pandemic. AI is just the next item on a very long list. Adapting to new technology isn't new to you. You've literally done it your whole life. In practice, adaptability looks like volunteering for unfamiliar tasks instead of avoiding them, pivoting mid-project when priorities change, temporarily taking on elements of someone else's role when they're on leave or when the team restructures. Example: your team introduces a new AI-based customer support tool. Instead of resisting it, you dive in, learn how it works, help colleagues get comfortable, and adjust your own workflow to use it effectively. Bonus: when the 30-year-olds see you embracing the new tool, you instantly break every stereotype about older workers, and management notices. That kind of behavior signals to employers that you're built for a fast-moving AI-enabled environment. Recruitment leaders say curiosity is now a core differentiator for top talent. Curious employees are better at solving problems in unfamiliar situations, which is exactly what constant technological change forces everyone to do. Interviewers increasingly ask themselves questions like, does this person show intellectual curiosity? Can they be a critical thinker? Do they demonstrate good judgment? Curiosity also shapes how effectively you use AI. If you're curious, you don't just accept the first answer from a system. You ask follow-up questions, try different prompts, and use AI as a partner in learning instead of a shortcut. And here's a little secret. Curiosity keeps you young. Studies on aging consistently show that people who keep learning stay sharper, healthier, and more engaged. So building this skill isn't just good for your career, it's good for your brain. Example: you encounter a problem you've never seen before. Instead of waiting for instructions, you explore documentation, ask AI tools for different solution paths, test options, and then present the best approach to your manager. That pattern, explore, learn, test, share, is exactly what employers want. Many researchers highlight a cluster of power skills that AI cannot easily replicate: critical thinking, judgment, emotional intelligence, and creativity. These skills sit underneath everything else. They're the foundation that makes technical and AI skills genuinely valuable. Critical thinking means being able to question assumptions, evaluate evidence, and apply ideas in real-world contexts instead of blindly trusting outputs. Judgment is your ability to weigh trade-offs, understand risks, and decide when to act, when to wait, and when to ask for help. Emotional intelligence covers empathy, self-awareness, and the ability to manage relationships. In workplaces where AI handles more routine work, human value often shows up in how well you collaborate, resolve conflict, and support colleagues through change. This, friends, is where decades of life experience become pure gold. You've sat through booms and busts. You've seen revolutionary ideas crash and boring ones win. You've managed people through divorces, layoffs, and health scares. That kind of judgment and empathy cannot be trained in a weekend workshop, and it certainly can't be generated by an algorithm. Example: an AI model flags certain customers as low value and recommends reducing their support. Critical thinking and empathy push you to ask, is this data biased? What's the long-term impact on brand trust? Are we missing an important segment that needs a different approach? Those questions require human judgment, not just better code. As AI systems produce more insights, dashboards, and predictions, the bottleneck shifts from getting information to making decisions. Employers increasingly want people who can move from data to action, quickly but thoughtfully. Decision-making in the age of AI involves understanding what the data actually says and what it doesn't, recognizing uncertainty instead of pretending the model is perfect, balancing quantitative insight with qualitative context, culture, ethics, and long-term strategy. Many leaders emphasize that AI will supercharge human capability, but it won't decide the future, people will. In other words, AI can propose, but humans must choose. Example: you're presented with 3 AI-generated scenarios for expanding into a new market. One maximizes short-term profit, one balances profit with sustainability, and one focuses on long-term brand positioning. Your job isn't to ask, which one did the model rank highest? It's to ask, which one fits our values and strategy, and then commit. And knowing which trade-offs actually matter, that comes from experience, the kind you can't fake and can't automate. How to start building these skills today. The good news is that human skills are trainable. At any age, you don't need a new degree. You need new habits. Here are practical ways to build these capabilities. Communication. Practice summarizing complex topics in one clear paragraph or a 60-second voice note. Ask colleagues or your spouse if your message was easy to understand. Storytelling. For every project, write a short before-after story. What the problem was, what you did, and what changed. Adaptability. Once a month, volunteer for a task slightly outside your comfort zone. especially one involving new tools or workflows. Curiosity. Adopt a rule. When something confuses you, ask at least one question and try one experiment before escalating. Critical thinking. Before accepting any AI output, ask, what's the source? What assumptions is this making? What would contradict this? Emotional intelligence. Pay attention to how people react in meetings. Notice when someone is quiet, frustrated, or confused, and respond with a clarifying question or support. Decision-making. When you make a decision, write down your reasoning. Later, compare results to your expectations. This builds better judgment over time. These habits, over weeks and months, become the human strengths employers are searching for, regardless of what AI tool is hot this year. Alright, you stayed until the end, so here's what I promised. First, the one question that can future-proof any career or any retirement. Stop asking, how do I compete with AI? And start asking, what can I do that AI cannot? Write it down. Put it on your fridge. Every time you plan your week, your job search, or your next chapter, let that question guide you. The answer lives in how you think, how you connect, and how you lead. And after decades of experience, you have more of all three than you probably give yourself credit for. And second, your simple 7-day plan. Day 1. Write down your 3 best career stories. Problem, action, result. Day 2. Explain one complex topic from your field to a friend or family member in plain language. Day 3. Open a free AI chatbot and ask it 5 questions about your industry. Just explore. Be curious. Day 4. In your next conversation or meeting, ask one clarifying question instead of assuming. Day 5. Take one AI or internet answer and fact-check it. Ask, what's the source? What's missing? Day 6. Reach out to one person in your network you haven't spoken to in a year. Relationships are a human skill too. Day 7. Make one small decision, write down your reasoning, and set a reminder to review it in a month. 7 days. No tuition, no degree. Just the deliberate sharpening of skills you've been building your entire life. Remember, AI is not the enemy of your career. It's a multiplier. And for people who combine a little AI fluency with a lifetime of human skills, communication, storytelling, adaptability, curiosity, critical thinking, emotional intelligence, and sound judgment, the future of work can actually be more interesting, more flexible, and more rewarding than anything that came before. If this video gave you something to think about, share it with a friend who's worried about AI and work. You might just change how they see their future. And tell me in the comments, which human skill do you think will matter most in your career or next chapter? I read every single comment. Until next time, stay curious, stay sharp, and remember, experience never goes out of style.